Hello there, beautiful. Yes, you watching right now, you look so good today. You look so pretty. Did you do something with your hair? I absolutely love it. We're gonna do a best and worst of 2024 so far. There are some really questionable products in here, and there are some beautiful stuff in here as well. I'm gonna start with the best products with no particular order. I'm just gonna go through the best products that I've tried this year, and these are gonna be products that have released this year, except one product. I'm making an exception for one product that I got sent as PR this year, that I discovered this year, and I know it wasn't released this year, but it is so good it needs to be mentioned. And then I'm gonna end with my bad bin. I have so many products here that I really don't think are good products, that I really don't recommend to you. Some of them, it's more that I don't recommend them because of like my preference, my skin type, where I live. I live in Austin, Texas. It's very warm, it's very humid. I have oily combo skin, but I'm gonna try and talk you through these and try to like mention why I don't like these products. And I'll do the same with the things I like, of course, as well, because it makes no sense for me to just be like, I love this one, go buy it, without like explaining what is it about this product that is so good. I will not be mentioning eyeshadow palettes in this video. You should subscribe to my channel because I will have a separate video talking all about the best eyeshadow palettes of this year so far, because I want to spend a little bit extra time on them. I did use a little like face makeup, and I have a lip gloss on. I actually have one of the lip glosses that I did with Oden's eye. This one is in Quicksand, which is like a warm, it's a warm caramel, and I'm filming an eye look after this, but I'm still waiting for that package to come in the mail. So that's why we're doing this, a fresh face with just a gloss. And let's just jump in. Let's jump in and let's start with one of the best products that I've discovered this year, and that is the Fenty highlighter. I have this in two shades. This one is the Yum Rum. This one, unfortunately, is a little broken. You can see there is a little bit of a crack in mine. I also have this in, I think, one or two shades lighter. It's like the pale vanilla gold. This highlighter is bomb. It is incredibly finely milled. It goes on your skin so beautifully. You can build it up, you can sheer it out. It is a powder highlighter, and it can give you anything from a glowy skin to a bam, see you from outer space kind of a glow. This is a beautiful product. The only thing that I will say about this one is that it is kind of fragile. I would not travel with this one. And I also I bought one of them in store and it wasn't broken, and I ordered one online and it was broken. So I would say pick this one up in store. Ask the person at the checkout to check that it's not broken before you walk out of it from the store. But when you have it, it is absolutely stunning. Do I recommend you to travel with it? Maybe not, but oh, love this one. Top 3 favorite products from Fenty Beauty, and that says a lot because some of my holy grails are from Fenty, and I love this one. If you are not shopping in the Fenty Beauty, that's not your category of makeup, you want to try something from the drugstore, I highly recommend the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear Highlighter. I got this one in the lighter shade. I think this one is called Ice. I don't know. There is a darker shade as well. I have the lighter shade. This is a peachy duochrome, more like almost lit from it, and it's not as intense as the Fenty one. This is not as intense on the skin, but it is very flattering. It is extremely beautiful. It is that warm peachy gold vanilla that just looks really incredible on the skin, and I am so impressed that this highlighter is one from the drugstore. I really think they went and did something with this one. So if you are like, oh, I want to try a highlighter but I don't want to pay high-end Sephora money for it, I recommend this one. It is really beautiful. There's been a lot of blushes coming out this year, which makes me really happy because I love the blushes. It's one of my absolute favorite products to wear on the skin. Blushes and highlighters make me very happy. Of course, eyeshadow palettes will always be my absolute favorite, but blushes and highlighters are pretty much a shared second place. So I'm very excited that we have a bunch. I'm gonna go through which are my favorite blush releases of this year so far, and there's gonna be quite a few, and there's gonna be some liquid ones, there's gonna be some powder ones, there's gonna be some cream ones, some affordable ones, some high-end ones, some luxury ones. I'm gonna give you a wide array of products that I recommend. So I have a bunch of those to recommend as well. I also want to tell you about the Natasha Denona powder foundation. I have mine in N6, which is a light medium with a neutral undertone. I don't wear this. This comes with a sponge. And I have worn this with a sponge and it wears pretty okay. I will say that this is a powder foundation that doesn't keep you matte all day. So if you have dry skin and you want to try a powder foundation, like something on the go, this might be for you because I feel like this one really sinks into the skin. It's almost like a hydrating powder. I have oily combo skin. This does not keep me like matte in my T-zone the entire day. How I like to use this one is actually with a fluffy brush, and I use first the concealer just to cover up like my under eyes and a little bit if I have something I want to cover up. Then I do a fluffy brush all over my face as my no makeup day. I think that this one, a sheer layer all over your face, it's beautiful. I've been wearing that a lot, and this one really got me into appreciating having a no makeup or a just not like clean makeup aesthetic, but like doing less. Because I always am like, if I'm gonna do my makeup, I'm gonna go full in, like a full beat. And I've been trying to appreciate like a half beat, a quarter beat, 1/8 of a beat, like just a little bit. And this one has been really good for that. And this one also really sticks to the skin in a very impressive way. If you have acne, if you have like sunburns or something like that, this one really sticks to those areas that usually do not take makeup, and I've been very impressed with that as well. Speaking of foundations, I have two foundations that I want to talk about that's been released this year that I am very impressed with. One is a very sheer, it's a sheer tint, and this one is the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfecting Essence. You can see I've used a lot. I've used like a third of this foundation because like you can see this is one of those airless pumps, and this one will like go up. I travel with this one. I use this one with a sponge. I use this one with my fingers even. Beautiful with your fingers or with a brush. It works all the way. This is a sheer to light coverage. It's a very gel-like consistency. And on me, this one, it doesn't necessarily keep me matte, but it is a very natural finish and it keeps me looking fresh all day. It doesn't turn me into a grease ball, but it also doesn't keep me matte. But when it fades away, it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't like settle into lines. It just looks very believable if you're looking for light coverage. I've been highly enjoying this one and I very much recommend this, but don't think you're gonna get coverage. If you like more coverage, this isn't the one. The one that I've been loving for coverage is this one from Urban Decay. I love this one. This is a Face Bond foundation. I have mine in 17 medium warm, and this one I have in 40 medium. So I have this one in medium and I have this one in medium warm, and both of these are a pretty good shade match for me. This is a full coverage. I would say it is a matte but not flat finish that just really works good on my skin. This is a really nice full coverage foundation that doesn't look overly made or doesn't look like thick or cakey on me. It has a really nice like dropper function, and I've been loving this one. And one of the things that I also, this holds up great. This holds up beautifully on my, again, combo skin. One thing I really like about this is that it's also very nice to mix things with. I've been mixing this with all kinds of different liquid products and it has not been separating. It's been working really good and looking good on the skin. That's also one thing I like about this, because I like when there is a full coverage product that I can also sheer out. This one is great. I love this foundation. I think it's beautiful. I also want to talk about the Yummy Skin. This is the Water Powder Serum from Danessa Myricks. This is a primer, but it is like a dropper and you like press in the bottom and it like drops out. I would say 2 or 3 drops for me in the T-zone with this one will really help me to stay matte and keeps the oils at bay and keeps the makeup from breaking up in my T-zone if I need to wear makeup all throughout the day. And one thing I also really appreciate with this one, because it is a liquid, is that this one really mixes well together with other products, because you can put this on before or after you're doing other primer steps. I have not had any problem whatsoever with this one. I think it is beautiful. I will say sometimes I hear people have problems with primers that I don't have a problem with. I always wait a couple of minutes, sometimes 5, sometimes 10 minutes, to let my primer sink in before I go in with foundation, just to make sure that I'm not messing stuff up. I am so impressed with this Refi concealer. Refi? I don't know. This is the concealer. I have the wrong shade, but I'm still loving this one. I got the shade 06 and I was at Sephora and I tried out another shade and I think I'm supposed to be 07. This is just a hint too light for me, but honestly, this is a beautiful concealer. This one is a medium coverage that is very not liquidy, but it is not thick. This is not a concealer that I would describe as creamy, which is something that I love. This is a serum concealer that almost has a self-setting ability to it. So it gives you a medium coverage that is matte but not dusty or crusty, and you can use a minimal amount of powder, which helps if you, again, I'm 40, I have a lot of fine lines under my eyes. This one just sits beautifully under my eyes. It does not crease, it does not get weird. It just looks really good under my eyes for all day. 12-hour wear without having to set your under eyes with a ridiculous amount of powder. I am so impressed with this one. And the first thing I tried from this brand, we're gonna have in the worst category. So this brand, they have some hits and misses. I have two bronzers that I want to talk about, and I will say I am very, very impressed with the Too Faced bronzer stick that they came out with. What is this one called? Melting Bronzer and Sculpting Stick. This one smells, oh, it smells so good. It smells like orange chocolate in a very believable way. I have mine in shade Chocolate Souffle, which I think is shade number 2. It's not the lightest shade. And I do know that there's at least one darker shade, and this one is really beautiful. I can paint this on the skin and blend it out if I want to, or I can do my brush on or my sponge on and sponge it on. It's a very easy product to work with. You can build it up, you can sheer it out. I think this is a stunning bronzer stick. And I have not tried that many things from Too Faced, but I will say I've had really good luck with the things that I've tried from Too Faced as of late. I just recently bought the new reformulated matte foundation that they came out with. I still haven't used it, but I have it in my collection and I will use it soon. And hopefully I love that one as much as I love this one. But that one has a lot to live up to, because it has to be as good as this one, at least. If you watched my recent rankings video, you know that I ranked the liquid bronzer from Makeup by Mario as number 1. I was so rude to this one. I said that this was an unnecessary product. Nobody needed this product. It made no sense. I was incorrect. I have this in the shade medium. It is called the This is called the Bronzing and Shaping Serum, and it is very much a liquidy serum consistency, which means that this one, it has a lovely undertone. This one is so great to use either as a light bronzer. I use it with a sponge. This one comes, you can see it comes with like a pump, but it also comes with a doe foot. So you can use it with a doe foot, or you can use it with the pump. And I have used it on my skin directly, like using the doe foot. I have used a brush, I've used a sponge, I've mixed this into foundations that are too light. It is just a very versatile product in a way that I did not think. And almost like I should have known, because I have been really into a more lighter bronzer, like not a super, you can see I don't have the stripe. I've been very into like the light sculpt, just a little sun-esque thing. I have not been into like a darker bronzer. So this one honestly just fits the way I do my makeup so much. I love this product. I love it. And if you are also into a more sheer bronzer, or if you have foundations that you sometimes are like, if you like me and you definitely go a couple of shades darker in the summer, this one has been great to mixing because of the serum consistency, to mix into foundations and to make them darker. I did not think that I was gonna love this product as much as I do, but this is very effortless. If you do not like working with liquidy products, if you don't like a sheer bronzer, this will not be for you. You won't like this. Okay, before we go into the onslaught of blush products that I have to talk about, I have to tell you about this one. This one released in the beginning of the year, and I feel like a lot of people like kind of forgot about this, but this is the Berry Pop Cheek Trio by Natasha Denona. I still love this one. This is my favorite cheek palette that Natasha Denona has ever come out with. It is more like a cream, traditional cream blush that is like a berry red that you can sheer out. And then it's almost like more of a metallic gel formula that is like a very highlighty, glowy blush that's like a peach with like a very nice glow to it. I can use this as a blush, and I can use it as a blush as a highlighter topper. It's very beautiful. And then we have a powder, almost like a very creamy, not a putty, but like a creamy powder highlighter formula that is stunning. It is like a pale champagne gold. This palette is stunning, beautiful, fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough. If you like face palettes, this one is beautiful. It is the best face palette, according to me, that Natasha Denona has ever made. If you don't like a reddish cheek, maybe this won't be for you. But if you're like me and you're just sick and tired of the cool tone pinks, this one is great. I love it. I still love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's ease into some blush products. And these are going to be the best blush products that I have tried so far this year. And there is quite a few. There is quite a few because there's been some really, really good blush products that has been released. And the first one I'm going to mention is this shimmery version from Danessa Myricks. I'm mentioning this one first because for some people, this will be a highlighter. For me, I think this is either the lightest or the second to lightest shade. This is a glowy blush. This one is called Low Key and it is a shimmering peach, but this is not a beaming. If you've ever tried those Rare Beauty blushes, the ones that are like a powder blush that is very sheeny, I think those are beautiful, but they're too metallic. I think for being a blush, I like a glowy cheek, but I actually think that that one is too metallic. This one has more of a low-key shine, almost like where we have with the cheek today, which I didn't use this one. I used another product I'll talk about. This one is really pretty, but it is glowy. So if you don't like a glowy cheek, try the blushes that doesn't have glow in them. But I love this formula. I think it's beautiful. I use them with either a sponge or a brush. Some products are better used with your finger. I don't think this one is better with your finger. I also don't think that the new cream blushes by Lawless are better with your finger. These are used with a brush and they are beautiful. This is actually a cream blush formula that dries down. And it is a matte formula, but it doesn't look flat on the cheeks and it is really beautiful. This one is Starburst. It's more like a peachy shade. It's really pretty, but I have been loving Cherry Pie. This is a bright reddish pink. It's like almost like a fuchsia coral. It is so pretty. Last time I was traveling, I brought this one. It is absolutely beautiful. If you like doing a cream product on your cheeks, but you're afraid that something is going to look metallic or you need it to dry down, this one is beautiful. It's a very, very good formulation and it does come in other shades as well. If you like a more sheeny chic and you want to try something from the drugstore, the new Lumi blushes, liquid blushes by L'Oreal are stunning. This one is in glowy gold pink. And I actually was thinking that I wanted to get another color. This one comes with a doe foot. I either press my doe foot and then blend it out with a brush, or I take my brush on the doe foot and then blend it on the cheeks. Both have worked really good. It's easier though if you do like the doe foot or if you take it on your hand, because if you put too much on your cheek and you've had powder on, it can lift, I have noticed. But if you just put it on your hand first or on your brush first, it won't lift. I wanted to get another shade. This one comes in 6 shades. 3 without shimmer and 3 with shimmer. This one is more like a peachy gold, a peachy pink. And then there's one that's more of a pink, and then like a warm pink. And then there's one that's more like a darker reddish pink. And I wanted to get one with a shimmer and I didn't want to get a pink. So I think I'm just going to stay with this color, but I kind of hope that they come up with more colors because this formulation is beautiful. And I kind of do like that they came out with 3 with shimmers and 3 without, because if you wanted to try a liquid good blush from the drugstore that is not as pigmented as another formula we're going to talk about, it's pigmented but not deadly pigmented. I do like that they have shimmery and non-shimmery options depending on what you want. I will link all of these products, by the way, down below. In case you're interested in any of these products, they're going to be down below, I think, to the best of my ability. To the best of my ability, they're going to be down below. Let's talk about the drugstore formula that's more pigmented, and that is the Juvia's Place blushes. I prefer the shimmery version over the non-shimmery version, basically because I like a shimmery cheek. But again, the Juvia's Place blushes are great. They're affordable. They're as pigmented as the Rare Beauty blushes. So if you don't like a very pigmented, like, blush color, you're not going to like this. But just 1 dot on your cheek, that's what I do. 1 dot on my cheek and then I blend it out with a brush. beautiful. And this one has a very nice glow to it. It's a little bit more glowy than what I have right now, and I think it is stunning. The shade that I have is Soft Tulip Glow. These are beautiful. And again, if you want to try something to drugstore, I definitely recommend these. If you're looking to try something that's more indie, the new liquid blushes from Glaminatrix are stunning. These are also a glowy blush that's with a doe foot, but these do not have a sheen. They dry down not to a powdery finish, but to a non-sticky, somewhat dry down finish, but they still look dewy, which is honestly very impressive. This is a great formulation, and they do not have shimmer to them. So if you're looking for a glowy cheek and you don't want to have shimmer, I definitely recommend these from Glaminatrix. This one is gentle. It's like a more cool tone pink, but I have all the colors, and the colors are beautiful. There is one that's more like almost like a terracotta beige. Really pretty. Another formula that is pretty much like the Glaminatrix, this one is maybe a little bit more gel-like in consistency going on, and this is from Give Beauty, and this is the Dewy Plump Collagen Cheek Tint. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. This one is in Marigolds, and this is the peachy one. Again, this is a glowy liquid blush that goes on your cheeks, and it somewhat dries down, but it still looks glowy, but there's no shimmer in it. I absolutely love this one. I think it is beautiful. And now before we get into some other categories, this is the luxury product that I have on my cheeks today that I honestly think is stunning. This is from Dior. I don't buy a lot of stuff from Dior in any category, if we're gonna be honest, but I swatched this one in store at Sephora when we had the VIB sale, so I got this 20% off. And this is the Forever Glow Maximizer in Peachy. And it does have a doe foot, and it pretty much looks on the cheeks almost as glowy as the Glow Beauty ones by Charlotte Tilbury, but with a better packaging, because you're getting a doe foot in a glass packaging instead of the poofs. Absolutely stunning. If you're looking for something like that, that is like a highlighty blush liquidy, and you want to get nice packaging and you don't want to get the poofs from Charlotte Tilbury, these from Dior are absolutely stunning. And this peachy one, it's beautiful. Again, I have been traveling with this one. It's so beautiful. It's what I have on my cheeks today. It looks glowy without being metallic, which is a nice thing. Speaking of Give Beauty, let's get into some lip products. I actually had to go downstairs and fetch a couple of these products out of my purse because these are truly favorites. This one I wore yesterday, so I had this in my purse. This is the Dewy Plump Collagen Lip Gel by Give Beauty, and it is definitely a gel. And this is a little bit more of a thicker gel. This is not one of those lip oils that will disappear from your lips within a couple of seconds. This one has some body to it. This is a thicker gel that is, according to me, not sticky. It's not that kind of a glue. You remember the glue glosses from early 2000s? Juicy Tubes? That was like actually like Elmer's glue with pink glitter. This is not that, but it's definitely a thicker formula on your lips. It's pillowy, it goes on your lips, it looks super shiny, it feels very comfortable, and it stays on your lips for a bit. So if you're looking for something that's balmy and like very glistening and stays on your lips for a bit, definitely recommend these. This is also in Marigold, which is the same as the blush that I talked about. The lip goo is in clear packaging and the blush is in frosty packaging. These are both really good, and the lip product has this really nice like almost like butterscotch scent to it. Beautiful. Again, I fetched this out of my bag. Absolutely love it. Another thing that I fetched out of my bag is the balms from Bare Minerals. I'm gonna mention some products from Bare Minerals in my worst products so far this year, but these balms are great. This one is in Friendship, which is the shade that I've been using the most. You can even see that there's like a dent in this one. This is a very beautiful glowy balm with color, and this feels really nice on the lips. It feels beautiful. It also comes in a clear if you just want to have a very glistening balm on your lip but without any color. There is a clear to this one as well. It comes in several different colors. Honestly, I'm very impressed with this. It is a nice slim metal packaging, and it does have a rim that like corresponds with the color inside. These are great. I'm very grateful that I got this in PR. I will try and put down below, because some of these things I bought myself. Like I told you, I bought the Dior thing myself. Some of these things I got in PR, and when you look in the description box, you will find, like I said, links, affiliate codes, and also I put a little star behind the product if I got it in PR. If there's no star behind it, it means I bought it myself. This one I got in PR. This is one of those products that if I had not gotten this in PR, I would not have tried it, but I'm so grateful that I did because I found a new favorite product. Like I said, literally fetched this one out of my purse. Another product that I got in PR that I am obsessed with, and I have been going on and on and on about this product, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Velvets. They just released 4 new colors, and I bought 2 of them because the other 2 were a little too pinky, but they sent me, for some reason, I'm not on their PR list, but I got all of the lip velvets, the old colors. This formula is the, hold on to your panties, I'm gonna say something. This is the best liquid lipstick formula I've ever tried. And I have tried quite a few. This one does not dry down. This is not 100% transfer proof. It is a little bit more transfer resistant. It is very moussey on the lips, and it has a silicone formula in a good way. It feels really beautiful on the lips. It does not slip and slide all over your face, but you can still you can smush your lips together without it being patchy or without it wearing off. It is dead matte. This is not a comfort matte with a sheen. This is not an almost matte. This is matte matte, but still extremely comfortable. If they came out with this one in 30 colors, I would still not think it's enough. This brought me back to, oh my God, how much I love matte lipsticks. I need them to make this in way more colors. It is such a good formula. And if you, like me, miss having matte lipsticks on, but you remember those extremely drying matte lipsticks from 2016, try this one. There are new colors now. Amazing formula. Absolutely amazing formula. And another matte formula that's also incredible is the Merit matte formula. This is the best product that Merit has ever released. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little harsh towards Merit because I really didn't like their eyeshadows, but I'm gonna be honest with you, there is a bunch of products from Merit that's actually really good. I have it here. This one, I have it here because I use it a lot. What is this one called? The face thing? The Minimalist. It's like their concealer and like foundation all in one. This isn't new, but I use that quite a lot. It's really nice. The cream blushes are nice. Their highlighters are really beautiful, but their matte lipsticks, these are the signature lipstick, but they came out with it in a matte formula. This is the best product that they've ever released. It is stunning. I have it in 3 colors. This one says vermilion. That is not true. This one is in Antibes or Antibes. Is it Antibes or Antibes? I keep forgetting because I think it's French, right? Antibes? It might be Antibes. This is a very beautiful brownie peach. Stunning. And then I have it in vermilion. This one I got sent to me as PR, and I loved it so much that I bought Antibes myself. This is a really beautiful, muted, warm red. Stunning, stunning. And they actually reached out to me and asked me, and I have it here. Wait, they asked me if I wanted to get another shade because I love this formula so much, and I still have not used this one. But look at this one. This is a Question. I still have it in the packaging. Oh, look at that. It's like a bitter chocolate. So beautiful. This formula is a comfort matte. It goes on super comfortably. It does not tug on your lips, and it looks matte, not as matte as the ABH ones, but it's definitely not a satin, but these are absolutely beautiful. The formula is so comfortable. Again, if you were wanting to do some like matte lips and you were like thinking of those like MAC retro mattes, these are not that. This is a new generation, but the signature lipsticks also come in the regular formulation, the ones that are more like a balm. The signature matte lipsticks, those are the ones that I really enjoy. I think they're beautiful. Another formula that I really enjoy, and now we're getting into some drugstore, is actually from Makeup Revolution. They released this bullet lipstick that is a glowy satin finish. So these are not matte. These are called... Oh, the name is not here. I don't remember what these are called. I don't remember what these are called, but they come in this really beautiful, like frosty, almost like a milky pink, really beautiful packaging. And it is like nice on the inside. This one is in stiletto. Again, it is like this beautiful, like bitter chocolate. Absolutely beautiful. And this one, which is my favorite color, that is called Divine Brown. It is like a almost like a neutral brown. There is a little bit of warmth in it, but it's not orange, but it is so pretty on the lips. These are extremely comfortable. These are not like matte. They're a little bit more sheeny, but they have a lot of other colors in this one as well. Really beautiful formula. Again, affordable from Makeup Revolution. Think they did a great job with these bullet lipsticks. The last lippy I want to talk about that I really, really love, I made an effort to put it upside down so that you can see how much I've used. I've used more than half of this. Fetched this from my bag. I love it. I use it all the time. This is the one that wasn't released this year, but Clarins. This is the Clarins lip oil in cherry, right? Yes, cherry. You can see I've used more than half. It is very unusual for me to use this much of a lip product. But here we are. This is a lip oil that has a really beautiful sheer candy apple color, and it's so flattering on the lips. I wear this one with a nude lip liner. Love it. I wear it all the time, and sometimes when you see me in videos or in pictures where I have like this sheer red glossy lip, it's this one. So beautiful. Love the color. It's a perfect amount of like pigment versus transparent, and it's so nice on the lips, and it's like thicker lip oil formula that again doesn't wear off instantly and doesn't wander all over your face. Cannot recommend this enough. I mean, you can see the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the dent. Can you see how much I used? Love this one. One skincare product that I've also used quite a lot of. I don't know if you can see, but I'm down to like here, which for me with skincare is quite a lot because I actually don't do my skincare every day. But this is the Glow Recipe Cloudberry Bright Essence Toner. This is really beautiful. It has a really nice consistency to it that is like a runny serum. And it just goes into the skin really beautifully, and you are supposed to let the layers dry down before you do more skincare, which for me usually is the biggest reason why I don't do more than two steps in my skincare, because I don't have time to wait. This one sinks in immediately, and it just leaves your skin feeling very hydrated and fresh. And this toner is meant to help the ingredients that you mix this one with, like the essences or the serums that you put on afterwards. They're supposed to work even better. This one is supposed to amplify that. And you've been asking me, because I've gotten a lot of compliments on my skin as of late. I always had pretty good skin, but I've been getting a lot of compliments, and the only thing I've changed is that I've added this one. I really like it. Another product that I thought I wasn't gonna like, but every time I get a reason, I bring this up to my friends. I mean, literally just the other week, I recommended this one to a friend. I didn't think I was gonna like this one, but I really think that this does something. This is the K18 Air Wash Dry Shampoo. This is a dry shampoo that you have to, like you can hear, there's something in here, you have to shake it. It is not an aerosol, it is a pump spritz, like you can see, and it comes out very liquidy. So you have to shake it because there is an ingredient in here that will leave not a white cast, but there is an ingredient in here that you do have to brush out. This product, when you spray it in your hair, you're like, how is this a dry shampoo? My hair is literally turning wet, because it is. But it dries down within just 2 minutes, and then you brush it out, and your hair is just like new. It is fresh. There is no residue, there is no powderiness, there's no greasiness. It doesn't feel like you put dry shampoo in it. It just feels like you removed the grease. You removed the dirtiness. There's this magic. Actual magic. I don't know the science behind this, but believe the hype. It is a really good product. It is super expensive, I will say. I used this one on day 2. I just spritz the roots of my hair. I leave it for 2 minutes. I brush it out, and then I can have my hair for 2 more days. I don't know what the magic is, but there's clearly some magic going on. Let me talk about 2 scents that I have been truly enjoying. As I'm saying this, I just recently bought 2 more scents, but I haven't been trying those enough to talk about them in my the favorites, but maybe they'll be yearly favorites and we can talk about them again in December. One of them is a fragrance that I've actually been wearing quite a lot, and this is from Replica from the Garden. Listen, one of my favorite notes when it comes to fragrances is tomato leaves. Not tomato. I don't want the salsa. I want the tomato leaves. I like the scent of greens. I like a green scent that's not florally. I don't want the flowers. Snip the flowers off, leave the stems, leave the grass, leave the leaves. I want to smell like a sophisticated piece of grass. This one is a berry. Okay, hear me out. If you're thinking, oh, it smells like berry pie, this is not a gourmand. If you like gourmand scents, you will not like this. This is very fresh, but it is very greenhouse. This is a summer, you're in a greenhouse and you're eating fresh cassis. Like fresh, almost like red and black cassis. And there's a lot of tomato plants around you and you touch them and you get that smell. But it also has that tanginess from cassis berries. It is not floral. It is not gourmand. There is not a hint of vanilla in this one. And I'm just saying that because I know a lot of people, when they hear berry or when they hear fruity, they're thinking a berry pie. I want the fruit, I always said that. I want the fruit salad. I don't want the fruit cake. This is very green and very fresh and very different. And you can buy it in a small one. But again, if you don't like green scents like that, you might not like it. It is a little special. Another scent that is also a little special, and I have been enjoying this one so much as well. I think you can see there's a dent in this one too. This is Soda Snob. This is from Sniff. They came out with this like pizza shop collab. They also had one that was tomato, like it was a pizza scent. It was supposed to be, I love basil. I love basil in fragrances, but that was basil and tomato. Told you, I don't want the tomato, I don't want the salsa, I want the plant. So I only ended up buying this one that is the more Coca-Cola, like it's a cola, fizzy cola drink kind of a scent. This one is very similar to the Lab on Fire Paris LA, which is my favorite cola scent. I would say the main difference is that that one leans a little bit more citrusy fizzy cola, true to that even on the dry down, and this one on the dry down dries down a little bit more on the spices, the ginger and the cinnamon, especially the cinnamon. But with that being said, the first spritz of this one is extremely true to a fizzy Coke, and this one is much easier to get a hold of than the Lab on Fire and much more affordable than the Lab on Fire. I do think the only place to purchase this is on the Sniff store, but if you love the idea of a fizzy cola drink, this one again leaning a little bit more on the spicy level, I cannot recommend this enough. It is a really beautiful fragrance. Is it better than Lab on Fire? No. But it is a very worthy second place holder in the fizzy Coke scents that I have. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now we're getting into the bad bin, and I almost feel bad for these products coming up after having just a full bin of like really, really great makeup. But somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it, and I'm here to let you know, don't buy these. No, really, buy whatever you want. And if I end up hating something that you really love, that doesn't mean anything to you. You already love that product. That's great for you. All that this means is that I've ended up trying a lot of products that I really did not enjoy this year. So let's go through them. Let's start with this one. This is like cooking oil. This is butter. It is so greasy. It is so incredibly gross on my skin. This is the Kosas BB Burst. This turned my skin into the greasiest, dirtiest, yuckiest mess in just a couple of hours. I cannot even make this one hold up on my skin with baking my skin. If you have super dry skin and you want the dewiest of dewiest, maybe, but honestly, this one just looks really yucky on my skin. I despise this one, and it feels yucky. It feels like I want to take a shower. Absolutely despise it. So this is the Kosas BB Burst. Absolutely not. Another one that I really don't like, maybe not as that one I despise. This one is more, I've tried so many much better things. This one is a Wet n Wild Bare Focus Niacinamide Skin Tint. This one, you know, sometimes you put foundations on and you're like, wow, this looks really good, and then it doesn't wear great. This one doesn't wear great. It turns me really greasy. Like, it turns me not dewy, grease ball, but it also doesn't look good going on. Something about the pigment, something about the formulation of this one makes it look patchy going on. So this foundation just didn't look good at any stage. And I will say, a lot of times when you put makeup on in like the light that I have, because I have very even light here so that you can like truly see what is going on. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, we just want you to film in front of a window so that we can really see. Trust me when I say that the window is a much more flattering light than what I have going on right now, because this one really shows you evenly what's going on. This one didn't even look good in any of these kinds of lightnings, and you could see it in the video that I was using. Does this make sense? I don't know if this is making sense. Let's talk about a concealer that I absolutely despised. This concealer made me start this bad bin. This is the Sephora Best Skin Ever. That's just a flat out lie. Glow concealer. I really loved the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. It was beautiful. This concealer, I had high hopes. It was supposed to be like a glowy one. This one, it was really like heavy on my under eyes, and it looked glowy in a way that just made me look even more tired. It was like accentuating my tiredness. And then when it mixed with powder, it started to look really heavy and funky, and it didn't wear good. It just did not look good on my under eyes at all. It looked very heavy. It creased and it was glowy, and it was just all the things that I just don't like with concealers. In a very cute packaging at a somewhat affordable price tag. At least I didn't pay $50 for it. Okay, here are the Bare Minerals products that I talked about before. These are the Complexion Rescue. Yes, you do need to be rescued after using these on your complexion. Complexion Rescue Bronzers and Illuminating Blush. These are so sticky that you will have yourself questioning, did I accidentally use glue? This is not one of those dewy, creamy, doesn't dry down. This is actual glue. It is so sticky, like flies will stick to you, dog hair will stick to you, any fuss that's flying around the house will stick to you. Don't even think about taking a nap in these. You will have to pry the pillow out of your face. Sticky, sticky, sticky. It looks pretty though. But you better have a buzz cut or a very slick bun, no animals around, and you're gonna be in an upright position for the rest of the day. With no bugs around. Who released this? Who approved this? Who tried these and were like, yeah, let's release a glittery Elmer's glue. People will love that. This one I put in the bad bin for a different reason. This is the Makeup Revolution. This one is the Beam Bright. And I feel like this one was released not as, oh my God, I can't even open this packaging. Hello, sir. Oh, there we go. This one was released as a separate release. They released this as a highlighter release, and they had several different colors, and this was supposed to be a wet look. This is not a wet look. This is wet? No, this looks dry. It looks the opposite of wet. I think this is very mediocre for a highlighter. There are so many better highlighters that you can get. Almost all highlighters, honestly, are more impressive on the skin than this one. Maybe it's the color that I got. I don't know. I have Golden Gal. Don't get this one. It is affordable, but it's not even worth the cost that this one was. I don't think that one was good at all. Oh my God, who remembers this one? I did a video about the new launch of H&M Beauty. I'm gonna be honest with you, some of the products were nice, but none of them was like rememberable. This one was rememberable, but only because it was so bad. This product is the eyeliner. I put this on my waterline. Let's not do it again today. I put this on my waterline and it came off like a plastic worm that went into my eye, and I had to dig out the plastic worm out of my actual inside of my eye. Awful, awful. So when I put this on my waterline, it slid right off into my eye as a nude colored worm that I had to fish out of my eye. Again, who approved this formula? One of the worst makeup products I've ever tried, actually. That was not fun. I have two mascaras here to talk about. One of them is the Refi mascara. This one looks like a half of a Venus flytrap. This is supposed to be like easy to like put on your lashes. This isn't easy. I poke myself in the eye. I poke myself in the inner corner. I get mascara everywhere. It's not that easy to actually finesse and like get all of your lashes to really look good with this one because of the shape and because of how long it is. It just, yes, you can coat all your lashes, but you have to be super careful. But if you really want to like, oh, I want to get a little bit more volume here, it is impossible with this one. I just think this was a gimmick that just actually did not need to be made. I also have this one from Lethal Cosmetics. I think this one is in the blue one. This is the mascara that they came out with, and they have a bunch of different colors, and I have the blue one here, and I love the idea of a colored mascara. I just think that this one, it doesn't do anything. This is one of those mascaras that just, you know, you coats the lash a little bit, gives you a natural lash that just a little bit of definition, but I want more. It doesn't lengthen my lash, it doesn't give volume, it doesn't curl my lash, and for being a colored mascara, it doesn't give you enough of color on the lash either. I think that this formulation is a little weak, and I do wish that they would take the time to reformulate a bit, because I love the colors that they come out with, and I actually really love the packaging, and I love the brush. It's just the formula is a little too thin to be doing anything. Some people are going to be really upset with me, but I was very underwhelmed with the Huda Beauty gloss. I got one shade. This is the Faux Filler, and I got it in the dark one. Ooh. Oh my god. What color did I get? Cocoa. I think I got Cocoa. It's literally like, you see the tag there? Impossible to read. I think I got Cocoa, but I got this dark brown. Here's the thing with these. They're nice. They feel nice on the lips. They're a little bit more of that, like, go on a little thicker, feels a little bit more like balmy, and like covers your entire lips and stays on for a bit. The thing with this one is there's something about the formulation when it comes to the colors. The pigmentation separates from the rest of the formula and layers in the ridge of your lips so that your lips look striped. I don't like that at all. I have heard some people really like these, but they always talk about the lighter colors. So I'm wondering if the darker colors, there's something about the pigmentation that just makes them striped, because the pigmentation just doesn't stay together with the rest of the formula. Something is up, just goes into the ridges of your lips. If you have fuller, like more plumped filler lips, maybe you won't have that problem because you won't have the ridges in your lips. But if you're like me and you have some of those like little lines in your lips, at least the darker color, I've heard other people say they've tried the darker colors too, the pigmentation just looks very uneven, let's say, and it doesn't wear beautifully. I got like straight up hate messages when I said that I did not like the lip vinyls from Tarte. This is the Maracuja Juicy Lip Vinyls. I have them in 2 different shades. I have them in Sheer Lotus, which is a sheer color. This one does work out. Like, you can pop it on your lips. You can really like smush your lips together. The thing with this is that if you thought the other click sticks from Tarte were a little goopy and a lot of product came on your lips, this one is that one, but like accelerated through 1,000. You get so much product on your lips just by touching this to your lips. I have a video trying this one. It was a mess. I've tried it again, of course, since. It is very goopy on lips. Super thick. And with this sheer formula, if you mush your lips together, you can sheer it out with your finger. It works out because it is sheer. Still don't like it. You can get much better products that is easier to work with, that looks better, and that is more affordable. You don't need to go get this from Tarte. It's very mediocre. Then we have this one. This one is in cacao. This is the one that is not sheer. This is a opaque color. Because they have 3 different formulas. One that is a sparkly one. I didn't try that. One that is a sheer that is extremely mediocre, hard to work with. You can get much better. Then we have this one that is a full-on opaque color. No. Straight up no. Because when you've put this on, it turns extremely goopy on the lips. And I have tried to make this work. In the video where I used this one, I tried to sheer out with my finger. I tried to smush my lips together. I tried to use a brush. But it's just extremely uneven on the lips. And when you use a brush, you get rid of the shininess of it. And you smush your lips together, because the color is so opaque, it ends up looking uneven, because you can never get it fully even by doing that, because it is opaque. I don't know what they were thinking with this one, and I have not been able to make this one work, the one in cacao. I just don't know who they tried this on and were like, yeah, this is good. This is good. This is hard. Honestly, this is the trickiest makeup product that I've ever worked with. And even though I tried so many times with so many different techniques, I still was never able to make this look good, at least not even close to what they look in the promo pictures, which makes me think, did they even use this in the promo pictures? If you want to get these kind of click sticks, don't get the vinyl ones. They're so goopy. They're extremely thick on the lips. There are so many better products out there that you can get. If you want that very glossy, balmy look on your lips, get that product from Give Beauty that I talked about. That looks what they want to look like, but they just don't. They're so tricky. I don't like them at all. You like, and people are like, oh, you're supposed to dot them on. If you dot them on, you just get a blob. If you mush your lips together, you get like little ridges of color. You try with a brush, you try with your finger, it just does not look good. Not a good product. I have 2 eyeshadow palettes that I want to talk about where I'm like, you can do so much better. Don't get any of these. Last year I tried, I was going to say quad. This is not a quad city. This is a 9-pan. I tried a 9-pan from Lottie London that I actually liked. This year I tried this one. It's called the Jewels. Don't get this one. It's not a good palette. You can do much better than this one. This, very mediocre. You don't need this one. And I feel the same, and I feel bad because I love this brand, but Glamlight Kiss palette, you don't need this one. It is very mediocre. There's nothing wrong with the color story. It's a cute color story. Again, I don't mind the theming. I don't mind the color story, the packaging. This is not the great Glamlight formula. This is very mediocre. It is meh. If you wanted to try this kind of color scheme, you can get this so much better quality than this. So much better. Even from Glamlight or the Bejeweled palette from Bella Beauté Bar, it's more affordable. It's more expensive than this one, but it's also like 100 times better than this one. Or even just try, honestly, any other palette from Glamlight except the Friday the 13th? Or was it the Freddy Krueger? There was a couple of those Halloween palettes that also wasn't good. The Ghostface palette and the Chucky palette, those are great quality. But if you want to try Glamlight, don't get this palette. This is not their normal great quality. It is very mediocre. Now let's talk about one of the worst products that I've ever tried in my life. This is a skincare product. It is so bad that I had my husband, I put this on, we were gonna go to the pool, and I was like, I put it on, I was like, I had it on for 5 minutes, and then I had my husband like touch my face. I was like, how does this feel weird to you as well? Awful. I had to go wash my face and use another sunscreen, and this is from Murad. No. This is the Environmental Shield Multivitamin Clear Coat Broad Spectrum SPF 50. This is one of those, let me show you. This is one of those like clear SPFs that comes out like this. You can see it's just like a clear gel. The thing with this one is that this one has so much like, I don't know what it is, silicones in it, that this, oh, it's so yucky. This will just sit on your skin like a greasy silicone shield, and it just feels horrendous. It does not dry down the slightest. It just sits on your skin, and it's one of those things. I had it on my skin, like I could feel it, and it also smells very citrusy, and I'm not like, oh, like a citrusy, like no, this smells like, it smells like toilet cleaner. It has a really weird smell. It has a very awkward sensation to the skin, and it just felt so dirty, and it just sat around on my skin. And when I touched my skin, it was almost like I was sliding on top of my skin. It was like a mix between toilet cleaner and mucus. I absolutely despise this product. I washed it off, and I'm like, no, we're doing another SPF. This is awful. So yeah, I mean, clear SPF sounds great. There is no universe where you could have makeup on top of this. There is no possible way that will work, because this isn't like hydrating in any way. It's just a super weird consistency. If you ever see this one in store and there's a tester, definitely test it on your hand. I still have it on my hand now, and I want to go wash my, absolutely yucky. It's one of those products, you touch it and you're like, oh, this is a breakout waiting to happen. No go. Absolutely not. So I did talk about two of the two palettes that I really don't like, but like I said, I will have a separate video where I'll talk about the best palettes of this year. I don't know if I had one last year, half like the half year mark. I do know in 2022 I had the 16 best palettes so far. I'll see if I can get it to be less than that this year, maybe 12 best, but that one will be up probably next week, so don't forget to subscribe to see that. I will have more videos this week as well. I hope you're having an amazing week, and I will see you soon again for a new video. Bye!